Greetings, my empire. Drezu here back with another video, and today I want to have a discussion with y'all about the ESO Mythic sets, or AKA what I like to call them, the better monster sets. I want to discuss why I think the Mythic sets don't belong in any form of PvP. I think they should be banned from all forms of PvP. That includes Cyrodiil, Imperial City, BGs, Duel. They shouldn't be in any form of PvP because I believe there's too much of an unfair advantage where they outperform when they really shouldn't outperform like certain like other things. Like these one piece mythic sets outperform monster sets. These one piece mythic sets outperform weapon sets. These one piece mythic sets sometimes even outperform 5 piece sets. You feel me? Which I don't think an item that only takes up one slot of your armor or one slot or one piece of your jewelry. I don't think an item like that should exist. You know what I mean? Because at that point, what's the point of a monster set? What's the point uh, 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 of a 2 piece set? I mean, you could still run a weapon set with it too. You feel me? But what's the point of a 3 piece set when you have these overpowered items that only take up one slot and the give you the power of a monster set? No, even greater power than a monster set, man. So that's basically what I wanted to discuss with you on the video. Um, Before we get into it, I want to ask y'all to hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. You already know, helps me out, helps the channel out, and helps the channel grow. Now, let's get into it. So first, I have the list right here. I have the list of every mythic set, or AKA the better monster sets. Now, I just want to give y'all a little example uh, of why I believe they're so broken. Just a little example. So, um, let's pay attention to Malakav's band of brutality, the brokenness of the bunch. This is the most broken thing, the most broken mythic set to come out. You feel me? Mythic sets in general have kind of ruined PvP. They ruined this, like throws this whole mythic set thing threw such a big wrench into the balance of PvP. It's actually kind of ridiculous, bro. So you have Malachi's band of brutality, right? That increases your damage done by 25%, but you can't deal critical damage. Now, if you're a PvP player, uh, I'm guessing that you already know that not every build runs a lot of crit. A lot of builds don't run high crit chance. A lot of builds that have like a lot of weapon damage or a lot of spell damage probably run like 12% crit or 10% crit. Examples of this is stamina DKs. Examples of this is stamina wardens. Now, the drawback from banner brutality to for builds like those is basically non-existent. You feel me? It's a non-existent drawback because it's so minuscule for those type of builds that it shouldn't even be considered a drawback. You feel me? Because it doesn't do nothing. You're not critting anyway. If you have like 11% crit, 12% crit, you're probably critting 1 out of 10 times, which is not a big damage decrease at all. If you're critting 1 out of 10 times, that's the most minuscule damage increase ever. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, what this ring gave people was 25% damage done. Now I know this ring has been nerfed. This ring has been nerfed. Instead of 25%, it does 16% damage increase now. But and instead of taking away your criticals, instead of making it so that you can't crit at all, your crits do 50% less damage. Now, I'm gonna show you something that even though that this ring got nerfed, that it still doesn't make a difference of how broken it is. Like what the nerf basically did to this ring was, instead of it being super broken, now it's just super broken. And let me just show you a little example of that. So, like I said, the crit side of things is basically not even a drawback for these builds that don't even have a lot of crit chance. Builds with 12% crit chance, 11% crit chance. This this whole can't crit deal crit, or like I said, the Blackwood, you do 50% less crit. That's basically nothing to those builds. You feel me? That's basically such a minuscule amount of damage. It's nothing. So like I said, Blackwood is basically a 16% damage increase. If you want to subtract some damage off the damage done, since you're not doing more crits, you can subtract 1% damage, because that's basically how minuscule that drawback is. So we could say Ring of Brutality, when Blackwood comes out, gives you a 15% damage done increase for builds that have under 12% critical chance. You feel me? Even 15%, that's a low number. Now, I want y'all to take a look. This is the monster set. It's for Slime Crawl. Uh, if you're an ESO player that's been playing for a while, you probably are familiar with this set. First piece gives you critical chance. Second piece gives you minor berserk at all times, increases your damage done by 5%. Now, look at that second piece. 5% damage done at all times. Then I want you to go back and for the math we did with random brutality. Even after, the nerf, it still is basically giving uh builds with low crit chance. It's basically giving these builds 15% damage done. So basically, Malachi's brand brutality is 3 times more effective than Slime Crawl, right? But what it doesn't make sense about it is, first of all, it takes up 1 jewelry slot, where Slime Crawl takes up 2 armor slots. That's one. Slime Crawl actually takes up more slots than Band of Brutality. So you're basically with these mythic sets, you can get more for less. You feel me? You can get more for less. Instead of this, uh, bro. Instead of a overpowered set like this having to take up 3 slots or 2 slots or even 5 slots, this is basically only taking up 1 slot, and it's so easy. It's so easy. Just put in that 1 slot, bam, you get a 15% damage increase. You feel me? This item alone is better than any monster. This outperforms so many monster sets. This outperform, bro. If you're a build, right? If you're a build in ESO that doesn't have a lot of crit, you're actually doing yourself a disservice by not running a Malakash or Band of Brutality. You're actually doing yourself a disservice, which leads to a lot of issues with ESO as a whole. Um, One of those being that ESO is now pay to win now. Um, we just have to admit it at this point. ESO is a pay to win game. Ever since Mythic Sets has come out in Greymore, um, ESO has been pay to win. You feel me? I've considered ESO pay to win ever since the Greymore, because Mythic Sets are just, especially Banner Brutality alone. This Banner Brutality alone, it is too big. You feel me? Banner Brutality alone can make that whole Greymore chapter just pay to win, because like I said, if you're a build that doesn't have a lot of crit chance, you're actually hurting yourself by not having. This is just a plain increase. You can't go wrong. You can't do nothing to go wrong with this, with Madcap Band of Brutality. You can't go wrong with it. It outperforms every um damage monster set. Maybe the only one that can compete with it is Balorgs. But even Balorgs, it pales in comparison to Band of Brutality, because Band of Brutality is 100% uptime. Balorgs is only when you ult. So even Balorgs pales in comparison. This outperforms even some. Uh, 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 this outperforms even some 5-piece sets. A lot of 5-piece sets doesn't do what Banner Brutality does. You feel me? Banner Brutality just outperforms every form of sets in the game. It outperforms monster sets, outperforms weapon sets, outperforms 3-piece sets, outperforms 5-piece sets with one ring. You feel me? One ring does all of that for you, outperforms all of those. So that's just one example of one mythic set example where it shouldn't, like giving an example of why these shouldn't be in the game. That's just one example of it. Um, I'm there. It is a band of brutality. That is a perfect example of an item that should not be in this game. It shouldn't outperform every form of these sets. You feel me? Even with the nerf, it still outperforms most sets. A 15% flat damage increase. Come on. It outperforms these builds. I mean these sets, which is it shouldn't do that because it's a 1-piece ring. But going away from Banner Brutality, we can even pick up another set. Uh, Guys of Sithis. Let's pick up Guys of Sithis. What does this do? Adds 5,000 health, 500 health recovery, 10,000 armor, and reduces your block mitigations to 0. Okay, now this is broken. Like this is broken for builds. This is basically broken for anybody who runs shields for sustain. So Magicka sorcerers, this is would be actually really broken on a Magicka sorcerer. This would be insane on a Magicka sorcerer because you're not blocking anyway on a mag sword. You're basically, unless you're running a sword and shield with mag sword, you're basically not blocking at all. Even if you run a sword and shield, most magic sorcerers are running light armor, and light armor, your block cost is increased tremendously. So you're not blocking on a mag sork at all because shields is your main source of sustain. The only time you're blocking is if you want to block a stun or something like that. And yes, when you get hit with that stun, you're not gonna have any mitigation to that from that the stun damage, right? But the 1-piece makes it so, bro. Basically, that 1-piece is an infinite block. That 1-piece, like the benefits you get from the 1-piece is so significant on a magic and sorcerer build that losing the mitigations from just blocking when you barely block in general, the it's so ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And we can compare this one a mythic set to some monster sets. We can compare it to Troll King. We can pull up Troll King right now. Let's pull up Troll King. Spelled it wrong. You feel me? We could pull up Troll King right now. Troll King. Right there. The first piece does gives you 4% healing done. Second piece, when you heal a friendly target, if they are still below 50% health, their health recovery is increased by 925 for 10 seconds. 925 health recovery for 10 seconds when you heal below 50% health. Now, if we go back to Guys of Sithis, this one stat alone, this health recovery stat, is probably rivaling Troll King. This one stat alone, because yes, you get 1,000 health recovery or almost 1,000 health recovery below 50% health, and you got to heal, and it's on a timer, rare. But with gay, I said, why do I keep calling it guys? Gaze, gaze of Sithis is giving you 500 health recovery at all times. It's just giving you 500 health recovery. So this one stat alone is competing with Troll King. But let's not forget 5,000 health, 10,000 armor, 10,000 resistances, 10,000. This stat alone for a Magicka sorcerer, or any build that runs shields, or any build that doesn't block too much in general, this stat alone completely just the drawback is big. This drawback is nothing to those type of builds. Like, I know ESO, I get the idea of what they tried to do. They tried to do an equivalent exchange type thing, but it's not working out, man. What you lose from this in certain builds is basically nothing. You basically lose nothing when you play with this item in certain builds. It's actually a little bit crazy. There are some 5-piece sets that it's crazy to me, man. 5-piece sets don't even do this much, man. This is a one item. This is one item you can put on, bro. Just takes up one armor slot. Bro, I'm just so upset, man. This is actually really crazy, man. And I don't know what got into like the developers' minds to put these items in this game, man. The only reasonable explanation is to why these items are in here is because of money. They wanted to make more money. So like, this is essentially forcing PvP players to buy this DLC. You feel me? Like, it's pay to win. You're basically forcing your PvP players to buy this because it's such a you would be hurting yourself if you didn't get some of these items. You would be hurting yourself. It's not like other DLCs like ESO has put out in the past, where yes, they added good sets, but those sets weren't overpowering the old sets. You know what I'm saying? In a certain capacity, like um amber plasm. Let's put amber plasm for an example. Amber plasm was one of the a new set that came out for the Mazatoon, and it gave you a lot of magicka and stamina sustain. Right, it was a good set, but you still had the option to run Shackle Breaker too, which was a good set as well. You know what I'm saying? You can run Shackle Breaker as a substitute for Amber Plasm. But with these one-piece sets, there's no replacement. There's no equal to these. That's the problem with these sets. There's no equal. There's no equal with the amount of space that this set takes up on the build and the amount of what it does. There's no equal to what with these sets. Like, we can look at this torque of tonal consistency. This, let's see, while your stamina is less than 50%, increase your magical recovery by 450. While your magical is less than 50%, increase your stamina recovery by 450. Bro, do you know if I was to put this on any type of sorcerer that I would have infinite amount of resources? Not even sorcerer. If I was to put this on, uh, 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 uh what's it called? If I was to put this on a stamina warden, I would have so much resources to do what I need to do. You feel me? If I putting this even on a DK is not that bad. Putting this on a there's no drawback to this either. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really crazy how these one-piece sets do more than two-piece monster set, then two-piece weapon sets, then 5-piece. It's just crazy how they do more, and I feel like this shouldn't be MP. Bro, to be honest, I don't think these should be in the game at all. A lot of these shouldn't be in the game at all. Like, come on. Come on, look. Shapeshifters change, reduce the cost of transformation abilities by 15%. While transform, bro. This is one of the best things for werewolf. If you run this as a werewolf, bro, you're getting werewolf dumb quick, and you're getting resources increases while you're in werewolf with no drawbacks, bro. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But if y'all enjoyed the video, man, that's all I needed to talk about, man. I'm getting too angry just even talking about it right now, bro. It's actually ridiculous what these these mythic sets just do. You feel me? I feel like this is the worst thing that ESO has ever produced, ever, bro. This is the worst thing that they ever produced. This is the worst thing that has ever come to PvP. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. You have ESO was doing so good until they put these in the game. Dragonhold was such a good Dragonhold was one of the was like the last remnant of the, like, the good, the most. Dragonhold was the most balanced ESO has ever been. Dragonhold was simply the most balanced ESO has ever been. Then they ruined it. They added mythic sets. They ruined it. Like, I don't get how you nerf monster sets, right? You nerf monster sets. You nerf Bloodspawn. You nerf Shadowrun. You nerf Troll King. You nerf all of these sets. I don't understand how you nerf all of these sets, right? To try to balance them out, because they people are saying that they're too overpowered. Then you add these one piece sets that extremely outperform the monster sets and are more convenient to put on than the monster sets. It's like they did that not to balance out the game. It's like they nerfed the monster sets to promote these ring sets, to promote people to buy uh you know Greymore, which comes back to that pay to win aspect, which I don't know. Yeah, ESO just, I just lose. When I think about Mythic sets, I just lose so much respect for ESO, man. It's so stupid. But like I said, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and helps the channel grow. And that's pretty much it. Dre's Empire out.